T7M Radio brings to you the best of 7 sports talk with 7 Mitchell.
I'm feeling like the Grinch. Christmas just feel like it's just been taken away from me. Got a couple weeks to go, but the way my Ravens lost to Tom Brady and the New England Patriots Monday night, I need to get it together, man, but you are now rocking with the best. This is the best of 7 sports talk here on T7M Radio. I am your host, as always, the kid 7 Mitchell. Appreciate y'all locking in, man. Tonight is the night where I definitely got to rant and let off my reactions to our loss that we suffered to the New England Patriots in Foxborough Monday night, man. Shout out to my shout out to my Baltimore Ravens. Even though we took the loss, we're going to get into that. We got to talk NBA. We got Pac-Man Jones on deck. We got so much to talk about. I do not even know where to begin. Call us this time, 347-989-8102. If you want social media, make sure y'all follow us at T7M Radio. We everywhere on social media. We lit from YouTube to Twitter, SoundCloud. We everywhere. So make sure y'all lock in. Follow us at T7M Radio and stay in the loop of everything we got to offer, because I'm telling you, as far as 2017 and the rest of this year, man, we about to turn it up a whole nother notch. Speaking of Christmas, now, coming off this past Sunday, coming off of a 23-10 win against the Cleveland Browns, Pac-Man Jones, Adam Pac-Man Jones, displayed his Christmas spirit with some reactions to some trash talking that allegedly Terrell Pryor from the Cleveland Browns was doing on the field. Let's take a listen at Pac-Man Jones, clearly in the Christmas and the holiday spirit, in his reactions in the post-game about wow, Adam Jones going ham on Terrell Pryor after the win. I'm not really sure what really happened going on in the field. I have not caught up with this story, so the streets is probably going to have to tell me a little bit more about the intel about what happened inside the game between Cleveland and Cincinnati. But the way Pac-Man Jones went off post-game, totally inbounds to me. I mean, and the biggest reason why is because they won the game. Now, if Cleveland would have won their first game of the season, and then Pac-Man Jones would have came into the locker room with this type of tirade, then, I mean, it's just going on deaf ears as far as I'm concerned. But Pac-Man Jones is a gangster. And when Pac-Man Jones tell you he checks his resume, I'm like, okay, suburbs kid from Pittsburgh, enough said. Enough said. There's no more to even talk about. If you from the suburbs, if you from Pittsburgh, you would not know. You ain't that guy, according to Pac-Man Jones. So when Pac-Man Jones laid the law down, he said he already checked this guy's file. He checked his jacket. He checked his resume. So it was just wild. Now, Cincinnati, the Bengals, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, next up they got the Pittsburgh Steelers this upcoming Sunday at home. So this is going to be the rematch from the playoff game last year where the big fight broke out. We had Burfict hurting Le'Veon Bell. Well, Le'Veon Bell getting hurt last year. We had the big issue with Burfict and Joey Porter, the fight, and Pac-Man Jones as well. So we do see that this type of energy that Pac-Man Jones has when his team is in turmoil, he do display that frustration. But they won this time. So, you know, Pac-Man Jones is clearly a G. I don't know what Terrell Pryor is going to do to really save face in this situation, because, see, on the field, Terrell Pryor's been good. But, I mean, when your team is on 13, you know, it's like you can't really do too much talking. And then I'm hearing that his coach, Coach Hugh Jackson, also feel like Terrell Pryor's trash talking on the field needs to dumb down a little bit. I really was never in the loop that Terrell Pryor was a damn trash talker. So I don't understand what the hell you're going to be talking trash to, unless he might have been talking to his own teammates. So So maybe this was just a self-evaluation or team evaluation that, maybe he's always doing it, talking crazy to his own teammates because they clearly don't have a formula to win a game. They're already on 13 going into the Buffalo Bills game this upcoming Sunday. Buffalo 6-7. Rex Ryan, I predicted Rex Ryan will be out the door. Hot seat. Rex Ryan, will be his last year head coaching, at least in Buffalo. I don't see somebody picking him up next year for a head coaching job unless they're trying to make a splash. But Rex Ryan is done in Buffalo. But back to Pac-Man Jones. I mean, it was crazy. It was too funny how he really turned up on Terrell Pryor. I mean, garbage. Straight garbage, Terrell Pryor. You hear that? Straight garbage. Now, reports had tried to speak to Pac-Man Jones today on it. Pac-Man Jones said he's pretty much done talking about the whole issue with Terrell Pryor. But, what do y'all guys think, man? Who's the biggest trash talker in the NFL? Now, my co-host J.O., he's off tonight. He feels like Richard Sherman is the biggest trash talker in the NFL. Me, myself, personally, I got Josh Norman this year being the biggest trash talker in the NFL, and he's box office as well. Richard Sherman has a better skill set than Josh Norman, but to me, they both box office. In Carolina, coming off of a Super Bowl appearance, getting rid of Josh Norman, that was the biggest mistake they probably have made. And that may have been a bigger mistake in franchise history more than getting rid of Steve Smith, to be honest. That may really come back. It's already clearly came back to bite him in the ass, but, that was a huge mistake. So, I like Josh Norman as being the biggest trash talker. But y'all let me know. Who do y'all have as the biggest trash talker right now currently in the NFL? I'm going with Richard. My co-host going with Richard Sherman. J.O. said Richard Sherman. I'm going to have to go with Josh Norman as the best trash talker. This is the Best of 7, T7M Radio. Best of 7 Sports Talk. Callers, y'all call up 347-989-8102. So, this is probably the part of the show that a lot of my counterparts probably going to enjoy, but this is not a segment that I'm too happy about, to be honest. Tom Brady in the fourth quarter connected with Chris Hogan Monday night, a 79-yard touchdown pass in the fourth quarter that helped the New England Patriots overcome a sloppy second-half performance with a 30-23 win over my Baltimore Ravens. I don't want to go off on my team. First of all, Joe Flacco, who always played well at Foxborough, played okay. 324 yards. He had a touchdown. I believe it was like 37 for 52. We have no running game. I don't know where Terrence West and Kanye West must be the same person. They were MIA last week. Dixon led the way with 53 yards. I don't know what happened to our run game. It was just non-existent. I don't know what's going on. But, I mean, he led the way with, I believe, 39 yards. Dixon led the way with rushing. Steve Smith, 4 receptions, 57 yards. He was the leading receiver. I'm telling you now, and I had to get at a couple of my fellow Ravens Nations. It's not that I'm getting at the whole Ravens Nation. This was a couple of idiots in a Facebook group. But I'm telling y'all right now, without question, I'm campaigning right now for Deshaun Jackson to come to Baltimore. Come on to Baltimore. Deshaun Jackson, he's in his last year in Washington. Talks is about him considering going back to Philly. We need that deep threat in Baltimore. We need that impact player at wide receiver. I know DJ is getting a little bit old, but we have been known to pick up older wide receivers, Steve Smith, Anquan Bolden, and I like Mike Wallace. I do like Mike Wallace. We do got a deep threat at Mike Wallace, and he has hands. So Mike Wallace is good. Perman impressed me as far as a deep threat. He really did impress me. He has butterfingers, so he got to work on his catching. So that's where the jury is still out for Perman being an elite deep threat. But his speed is just off the charts, and I like Perman. Steve Smith, we know hands, possession. But that's it. Now, people trying to tell me we need to find a possession receiver. Why do we need to pick up a possession receiver In the offseason, when we got these tight ends that's so comfortable, this is the problem now. Flacco has this comfortability zone with Gilmore and Pitt. It's always been this way, and sometimes it's productive, sometimes it's not. But as far as a deep threat, man, without question, I'm campaigning for DJ Deshaun Jackson to come to Baltimore Ravens next year. I don't know what y'all think, but Ravens Nation, I need y'all to stand behind me on this one because we need a deep threat. We need that impact player. I don't care what you guys say about Deshaun Jackson. You can call him a diva. You can say whatever you want to say about him. But you see, this year and last year, he made plays to blow the whole room up. Like, let's be clear. So I'm definitely campaigning for Deshaun Jackson to come to Baltimore. I can't do too much while the season is going, but when the offseason is going over, I tell you, I'm going to be campaigning super crazy for DJ to come into purple. So hopefully we can pull that off. But man, getting back to the Ravens and the Patriots, my defense, it's embarrassing. My defensive backs. First of all, Ladarius Webb, he's getting old, but he has a true heart of a Raven. So shout out to Ladarius Webb. That's my guy. Powers was kind of getting exposed. I think he left early with a concussion. Young, I mean, every week, I mean, this guy's getting burnt more than toast. This is just ridiculous. But these are some young guys. Jimmy Smith, I never liked Jimmy Smith. I mean, Pro Bowl caliber cornerback, okay. I'm not a fan of Jimmy Smith. I'm just, I'm not going to say he's overrated, but, he doesn't play enough for me. And he doesn't travel against the elite receivers. I mean, I'm not sold on Jimmy Smith. So if we got to free up some room, I wouldn't be mad if we had to get rid of Jimmy Smith to get Deshaun Jackson next year. Whatever we got to do to get the deep threat, because Flacco got to let that ball go, man. I don't know what the hell Flacco doing. And he did, like I said, he didn't even have a bad game against the New England Patriots. But Tom Brady just totally annihilated my defense, man. The front seven, they played okay. Got Big B, Brandon Williams, and I can't even talk right now. That's how pissed off I am. I mean, I'm just disappointed at the blown coverage, man. The blown coverage, and then allowing Hogan for 79-yard pass in the fourth quarter. I mean, Brady it was pathetic, man. And I don't know, And now we done lost first place. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they done won 4 fucking games in a row, and they lead in the AFC North. This was just a bad week for me right now, and I'm just pissed off, man. And I don't know where to begin. But, Tom Brady, he got his 202nd win. We did see Psycho Tom. Now, my co-host wanted to be so disrespectful on the last show, telling me that I was going to see Tom Brady do a lot of trash talking to my defense. That clearly was not the case. But Psycho Tom did come into play Monday night. You've seen it on the field and on the sidelines. He played a great game, I can't lie. 25 for 38, had over 400 yards. I think he had 406 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Like, he picked my defensive backs apart. It was just pathetic. They did have some special teams problems in New England. So the Ravens had a chance to win this game regardless. So that's why I'm not really want to shit on my guys right now. I'm pissed off. I'm emotional. I know I'm a little bit all over the place. So is our defensive coverage. But, I'm not going to sit up here and bash my team, even though we just did not play. It just seemed like, especially through the first half, man, it wasn't that New England was just that great. I just felt like we were just making so many mistakes. So, we got to really clean it up. I think we got Philly coming up. We do got the Pittsburgh Steelers on Christmas Day. I definitely can't wait for that one. That may decide who wins the AFC North. And the Steelers are winners of 4 straight. They play Cincinnati this weekend. So hopefully the Steelers can lose to the Bengals. That'll be a division loss. And we can step it up and get it popping with Pittsburgh Steelers on Christmas Day. This is the Best of 7 Sports Talk, T7M Radio. Callers, y'all call up 347-989-8102. Talking NFL action, talking about Baltimore Ravens. And, before I forget, Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis is in the reports today, pictures in the media today. Ray Lewis meeting Donald Trump this week. Ray Lewis, I don't know what the plan is. Now, I got some respect for Ray Lewis. I done went off the cuff a couple times here on the podcast. I do have respect for Ray Lewis, so I don't want to disrespect this man. I don't know what he got cooking, but seeing a picture of Ray Lewis and Omarosa and Donald Trump and Jim Brown, it was crazy. But, Ravens Nation, what do y'all think about seeing Ray Lewis with Donald Trump? I mean, y'all talk to me. Let me know. I mean, this is a confused podcast, I know, because I'm confused right now. I mean, there's a lot of questions that I need answers to. And I do not understand what Ray Lewis is doing. Maybe it's not my place for me to know, but I'm damn sure going to talk about it, because seeing it off the top, it just was just ridiculous. And I had an issue with Ray Lewis speaking on Joe Flacco just a couple weeks ago. Not that he was incorrect, but I just felt like he wasn't the guy. He shouldn't be talking about Flacco, because I don't see Ray Lewis anywhere in the loop when it comes to the Ravens as of late. So he shouldn't be speaking on somebody to help him get the Super Bowl title. But seeing him with Donald Trump, I don't know. That's the president-elect, so, deal with it, I guess. And we're going to see many more familiar faces, I'm assuming, with Donald Trump. Hopefully, there's some type of balance there. So I'm not trying to pass no judgment, but it definitely gave me cause to pause, and I want to know what the Ravens Nation think about this photo op with Ray Lewis and Donald Trump. When we come back on the Best of 7, we're going to talk a little bit of NBA, my New York Knicks, so much more. Here on the Best of 7 Sports Talk, T7M Radio. Don't go nowhere. This is the Best of 7 Sports Talk, T7M Radio with 7 Mitchell callers. Y'all call up 347-989-8102. Make sure y'all follow us everywhere on social media. As I said, we lit from YouTube to Twitter, SoundCloud, Facebook, at T7M Radio. Let's talk the association, man. NBA, my New York Knicks, 14-11, now in second place in the Atlantic Division. Eastern Conference tomorrow night. We got one of our biggest opponents, probably the biggest opponent. It's going down on TNT, man. I'm so happy we're getting primetime appearance. We got the Golden State Warriors. We got Steph Curry and company. We're going in the Oracle. My New York Knicks. We're coming off of a close loss, 113-111 to the Phoenix Suns last night. My Lakers, man, we beat the Lakers at LA and the Kings, so we did pretty well on the West Coast after being embarrassed by LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers at home. So I'm definitely impressed with my Knicks moving up in the Atlantic. They now in second place behind the Toronto Raptors. I believe they like 2 games behind the Raptors. But to me, the question right now, I'm happy. I'm happy. Don't get it confused. Knicks. I'm definitely happy that we're winning. But Derrick Rose now is healthy. He's questionable for tomorrow against the Golden State Warriors because he's now is his lower back. Like, it's always something with my goddamn New York Knicks. I don't know what the problem is, and it's driving me crazy. It's really driving me crazy. And then I hear people still telling me that Kristaps Porzingis needs to be the focal point. Why should Kristaps Porzingis be the focal point right now? 7'3". I do not care that he can shoot from the perimeter. That's besides the point. He's too small to make any serious post-up moves in the paint. Right now, we still need Carmelo Anthony. We still need Derrick Rose to be the focal point to draw the double teams that's going to allow Porzingis to get these open shots right now, because he's not that guy right now. He's a big piece. Okay, if you want to argue that Carmelo is not that guy, that we cannot win a championship behind Carmelo being the leader, well, we're just going to have to bring some more pieces. But do not tell me that Kristaps Porzingis right now is the focal point and should be the focal point. The Lord works in mysterious ways. I understand that, but it's just not time. It's just not time. But Carmelo got to step it up. I mean, there's no question about it. I don't know what's going on. You just look, you look soft, Melo. I mean, you had a big game the other night, but you looking soft, man. We need some, I need some attitude, man. If you're not going to play defense, man, at least front for me. Do something. I mean, talk. I mean, the way LeBron James came, I mean, you know that was just terrible the way y'all let LeBron James do y'all playing these water bottle games in Madison Square Gardens. You know, Porzingis is showing a little bit more anger and grit, man. Melo, I need you to definitely step it up with the energy, man. You well respected in the league. You well respected out in these streets. This is your home here in Baltimore. Man, don't have us looking crazy, man. It's that time right now. It's that time. It's time to step it up. So, big up to my New York Knicks. But again, we got a huge game tomorrow against KD, the Golden State Warriors. But I got my Knicks pulling off of that win. You know, I'm not concerned about it at all. It's going to be a tough one, but we're just going to have to play some defense. They're going to, I got Golden State starting off real quick as expected. But it's fine. You know, we're coming off of an overtime loss to the Suns. We finding ways to win games. We just didn't pull it off last night, but it's okay. Shout out to my New York Knicks, Phil Jackson. You still need to be incarcerated for the holidays for what you've done to my team, because we definitely should be in first place, in my opinion, at least in the Atlantic Division. It's been criminal what you've done to my New York Knicks organization. You should be incarcerated for the holidays. You should not even be able to see your family for Christmas. That's how I feel about it. This is the Best of 7 Sports Talk. 7 Mitchell. Salute to all of y'all, man. I definitely appreciate y'all taking time out, man. I just had to get some things off of my chest. We'll be back at it on Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern, regular time, for another dope show. We got predictions for Week 15 in the NFL. We also want to do a playoff picture perspective, J.O. and myself. We got to lock and load and talk about the NFL playoffs because it's coming up very soon. So y'all stay safe, man. Again, subscribe right now to the T7M Radio YouTube channel. Follow us everywhere on social media. We're so lit. I'm 7 Mitchell. You are now rocking with the best. This is the Best of 7 Sports Talk on T7M Radio. Salute.
Best of 7 Sports Talk with 7 Mitchell on T7M Radio every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern, 347-989-8102, and follow us on social media, T7M Radio on YouTube.